AV in your ears. That's Ambush Vid giving you this audio visual down the most interesting street in the world. With my boy Steve, Fascination Street. You already know. Let's get it. When you whip in the Fascination Street, what do you...
This is Rachel Dolezal, and you're listening to Fascination Street Podcast.
Yeah, AV in your ears. That's Ambush Vid giving you this audio visual down the most interesting street in the world. With my boy Steve, Fascination Street. You already know. Let's get it. When you whip in the Fascination Street, what do you...
Welcome back, Streetwalkers. This is a return appearance. This is Henry, Studio Kidney. He was on the show previously. He was a street artist doing meaningful graffiti all over the UK, but he has since mended his ways because he doesn't want to spend the rest of his life behind bars. So in this episode, we get to know a little bit about why he made that decision to change up his style, some of the things he has incorporated into his new style, and some of the messaging behind his new style of art. He did take a trip to America since we spoke last, so we talk a little bit about his time here and how that has impacted his art. Henry does do some political art, so we don't really talk about that too much, but you can go check it out on his Instagram. We talk about it, but we talk about it kind of vaguely because we don't really talk politics on this show. But it's beautiful art. There is a lot of messaging behind it. I do highly suggest you go check it out. But we also talk about thematically some of the things that he's doing and why, some of the textures and the materials that he's working with, and what he hopes to achieve with these art pieces. I always have fun talking to Henry. He's a great dude. And because of his accent, as the kids say, I could listen to this dude read the phone book. He's a blast to talk to. It's fun to get to know him even more and spend a little bit more time with him. It has been, a year and a half or something since he was on the show last. It was good to catch up. I think you're going to enjoy it. And make sure you go check out some of his art on Instagram. And he gives his website as well. He does sell stuff. So if you're looking to buy some things, or if you see something that catches your eye, reach out to him because I'm sure he will be more than happy to make those things happen. And this is my second conversation with Henry from Studio Kidney.
Prepare to be fascinated. Prepare to be fascinated. Prepare to be fascinated.
Welcome back to Fascination Street Podcast. Henry, what's up, dude?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I cannot complain. Ladies and gentlemen, streetwalkers, if you will, this is a return appearance. That's right. This is Henry. He was previously on the show back in late 2024.
A long time ago.
It is a bit. So we're going to talk today about some things that have changed. Previously, when he was on, Henry was a street artist. He sent me some robots. Sent them to me, like in the mail. I actually have them hanging on my wall.
I'm glad you got them.
Oh my gosh. Did I ever send you a picture? They're hanging on my wall. They look gorgeous.
I'm so glad. I think you did, yes.
They're absolutely amazing. I love them so much. So thank you for that. But Henry is not really branding himself as a street artist anymore. He's a real, actual, bona fide studio artist. So we're going to talk about some of those changes and why they happened. But first, Henry, man.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, dude?
Quite a bit, honestly. I mean, I've had a break from doing like street art and stuff. I think after we had like the first chat in like 2024, I realized it probably wasn't for me because a lot of my friends and I had acquaintances that did street art, but they've seemed to have just got arrested. As much as I respect them for their craft, it's not something I want to do because I feel like the messages and a lot of the meaning in my work, it'd be a great shame if that would all be for nothing, if I just went into prison for my art and then nobody got to see.
Whoa, prison. Hold on now. We were just talking about arrested. Now we're talking prison. They don't throw people in prison for graffiti over there, do they?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know what they do in America.
Nothing.
Maybe a little fine or two. But certainly in the UK, I've seen people get in prison for a number of years for doing graffiti, which I think is a bit overkill.
That is a bit harsh. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So can you say in the UK where you are?
Yeah.
Where are you?
So I'm in a small town in Bedfordshire,
Oh, cool.
sort of an hour away from London.
Oh,
Yeah, it's quite nice.
is that where you grew up?
Yeah, I do university, you see, at Northampton. And Northampton has a much bigger kind of, I'd say, graffiti or street art scene. So I think that quite early on shaped that kind of view of my work.
So you're currently attending university?
Yeah, I've just finished my second year.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Honestly, if I can make any kind of career selling my work,
So artist?
yeah, I guess that's the goal. But I guess that's a big dream in this kind of world.
Well, I would imagine. What are you studying?
Fine art, painting and drawing. It just sort of covers everything from sketching things to printmaking and learning how to use the different materials from like oil paint or using like a silk screen printer. So all sorts. It's quite nice.
Oh, so like showing you how to use the equipment and the
Yeah.
crazy technology. That's cool.
Yeah, like we even like make our own canvases, which would be something like a few years ago I wouldn't have even thought was a thing people do.
When you say make your own canvas, do you just mean stretching it or do you mean actually like making?
They cut the wood and then we have to put the wood together, or in my case, I think someone that's very nice does that for me. And then we put the material over.
Interesting.
So yeah, you get more like pushed into the actual world of creating loads of work rather than just having all of the stuff there already for you.
Are you familiar with an American woman named Rachel Dolezal?
Unfortunately not.
Oh, okay. Well, probably fortunately not. She made headlines for, it doesn't really matter what she made headlines for, but let's just say it was not art.
Okay.
But as it turns out, she is an amazing artist.
Oh, wow.
An incredible artist. You should look her art up.
I shall.
She is incredible, but she did this. I was talking to her. She's been on the show a couple of times, but I was talking to her about her art. One of the things that she uses, like instead of canvas, I don't know how she does this. I don't know the process, but she does some paintings on like crushed eggshells. So she somehow puts crushed eggshells, like a whole, let's just say, I guess, I don't know, maybe it's on like a board or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But she puts crushed eggshells on this board and then she paints on top of the crushed eggshells and it looks insane.
That's quite cool.
Oh yeah, you should really check her out. Her stuff is incredible.
Well, I used to use like fiberglass in a lot of my paintings and I would glue it onto the canvas.
In what way? Like what kind of fiberglass?
Just the stuff you use on like car repairs and stuff. Like you get it in sheets.
Oh, okay.
And I would like glue it to the material and then I would paint primer over it and then I'd like cut it to like a shape because you get these spikes that kind of point out of the canvas and it kind of looks like the painting's like falling off of itself. It looks interesting.
Nice. What made you do that? You were just trying stuff?
Yeah, I was experimenting with a lot of things because like my brain just wanted like a change from just doing something simply on like a canvas a while back, and I just wanted a bit of variety. And then I used fiberglass, if I'm not mistaken, a few years ago for like a stencil because obviously you got these tiny holes through the fibers. And I just thought it'd be an interesting idea to reverse that and actually stick it onto something rather than use it as like a stencil for putting paint through it. But it worked quite interesting, honestly.
Wild. Let's just go back to your street art for a minute. I know you're friendly with some of the most world acclaimed street artists.
Barely.
Oh, well, barely. Come on now. I said friendly. I didn't say besties.
That's true.
Aren't you friendly with Steak?
I know Shtick.
Shtick. I never say it right.
I've spoken to him like on the phone occasionally and he's very nice.
So what does he think about you getting out of the street art business?
You know, ironically, I think he was probably one of the first people to probably push me to probably doing street art.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was at college many years ago. He might not like it if I say this, but he was like giving me advice of using like cones, putting them on the sidewalk and using like certain things to make it look like I was allowed to be there.
Oh.
Which I did do on one or two occasions and it did kind of work. So
That's hilarious. You see that in movies, you know, where
you do.
the bad guys will be breaking in through a sewer or something and they just show up with cones and look like they're supposed to be there and nobody says anything.
Exactly.
Just act like you're supposed to be there and everything will be fine.
Exactly. I did it a few times and it just spooked me out because I was like, am I really just going to get arrested for painting a robot on a wall?
Turns out.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the things that you were street art painting was the knife crime stuff that was happening over there in the UK. A lot of knife crime, I guess, because y'all don't have guns
Yeah.
or not as readily available. Do you drive by or walk by or whatever and see your art? Like, is it still up or is most of it gone? Or
Oh, no. I don't think there's a single one of my like paintings from back then that is still about, to be honest. I think they're all painted over.
are you shitting me? Really?
No, yeah, I think they're all painted over.
The robots and the knife crimes? They're all gone?
Oh, yeah, all of it's gone, yeah. Because it's just been that long. Been lucky enough to do a couple of like murals, like for a school and various other little bits, but obviously they're still about because they're kind of arranged.
That's wild because you could graffiti something here in America and it'll be there until your grandkids die.
I quite like that.
Well, as long as it's good.
That's true. That's true. Well, I've a feeling if it's not good, it will get painted over quite quickly.
It doesn't. I'm telling you, it does not get painted over.
Well, clearly people like it.
Some of the graffiti stuff here is shit. Like, we're not even talking art. We're just talking like people will spray paint hateful messages on the side of buildings and they just stay there. That's crazy.
Oh, they need to get the jet washer out then.
Yeah, they do. That kind of breaks my heart, man. Those robots especially were really cool.
Well, nothing lasts forever. It's my whole art has changed like so much since then.
Let's talk about the changes.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so you already explained why you kind of got out of the street art business because you don't want to be eating bread and water for the rest of your life.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be in a cell for the rest of my life. God forbid.
So how has it changed? I know looking at your Instagram, you have kind of veered away from the robots and the knife crimes. What kind of stuff are you painting now?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, a few years ago, I personally wouldn't say I'd found my style, and I was using like stencils and things. But over the course of like working at university, I think I've kind of found a style that's quite different and unique in a certain way. But it's mostly about people. And I still cover like knife crime sometimes and certain things with AI and robots and stuff, because I think that's quite an important issue. But I use like ink and various different mediums like that. And I create works around my kidney disease and that kind of thing.
Let's talk about your kidney disease. What's going on, man? You're not old enough to have kidney disease.
Yes, I am. I was born with it.
Oh, well, I guess if you were alive, you're old enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So what kind of kidney disease and when did you find out?
It's only stage 1. Well, I was very ill as like a child. And from what I know, my parents just took me to the hospital and they kind of just found out from there.
So you've known your whole life?
Mostly, but the strange thing is, it's going to sound weird, but I thought everyone had kidney disease till I was about 16 or 17.
And why did you think that?
Because I was so used to having to go to the hospital so much. I don't think anybody had like told me that was any different. So to me, that was like the sort of norm.
Yeah, I guess like what would you compare it to, right? It's not like you ever lived a life where you weren't going to the hospital. So yeah.
Exactly. So I thought that was quite a interesting sort of thing to go into in my work and stuff, because obviously so many other people are affected by it.
So is it just called kidney disease or is there a specific type or like what's going on? What is it?
I mean, I just have kidney disease stage 1, but I've got one that's basically really small.
One what? One kidney?
Yeah, one kidney that's very small and it doesn't work. And because of that, my other one has expanded because it has to do double the work, if that kind of makes sense.
Sure.
Which just puts more strain on my body and stuff.
So how does that manifest? What are the symptoms? Like what would precipitate you having to go to the hospital for this? Like what's going on? What happens?
Well, I've had to always sort of go every couple of months and get like sort of blood tests and that kind of thing.
Just to make sure it hasn't progressed?
Yes. And I mean, I take precautions and I have medication, etc. So it's not too bad. But like once you get higher levels, you'll need to be on like dialysis and various things like that, which aren't very good.
Sure.
But I'm very fortunate that I'm not in that position at the moment. Sounds quite weird, but the only reason I make so much work, I mean, I'm quite prolific, is because I was quite worried that in a few years or like 10 years, I wouldn't be able to make any art because I was under the impression if I'm on dialysis, I probably won't be able to because I'll be very weak. So it's like the idea of like trying to make meaningful messages or like art while I can, in a sense. Because I'm not in the worst position in the world, but things can change quite quickly.
Sure.
Hey, Streetwalkers, here's a word from our sponsors.
Beneath a dead world, humanity's last survivors live in Subterra.
I care about one thing, keeping Subterra's power uninterrupted. If Subterra goes dark, we are doomed.
A buried city of chipped citizens, forgotten miners, and those who have never seen the sun.
You took a big risk coming here.
I didn't have a choice.
Go back home, girl. You'll get killed down here, or worse.
But in the lower levels, the unchipped have become invisible, and invisibility breeds rebellion.
We want justice for our dead!
You will learn to obey.
When a rigged trial ignites the darkness, a blind orphan, a bunker princess, and a rebuilt combat robot are thrown into a fight that could change everything.
Fellow citizens of Subterra, you are here to witness the adjudication of an unchipped bunker orphan known as Ace.
You want me to lie?
I want you to help me clear your name.
By blaming Ace for something he didn't do? He's innocent, and you're gonna kill him.
What I have set in motion will change this place forever. There will be a new order in Subterra, and it will not be kind to people like you.
No. I'm staying here.
Stay here, then. Stay and die.
Because underground, hope doesn't disappear, it survives.
Let the battle begin!
Advance!
Defend your home! Defend your brothers and sisters!
Subterra.
Available now. Download wherever you find podcasts.
Let's get back into it.
I know that you do art around kidney disease and kidneys and whatnot.
Yeah.
How do you incorporate that into your art?
Well, I have these little sort of illustrations of people, which I do for, I guess, pretty much every single painting at the moment. I'll like add and incorporate little illustrations of kidneys and like people that appear that they're in pain and stuff to kind of suggest or reference that kind of disease. So it's quite personal.
How is it going? Are people seeing it? Like, are they getting the message? Are they understanding what it's about? Is it received as just general suffering? Or I guess, how do you make reference to the kidney part of the pain, the unwellness?
I mean, probably some are more obvious than others, to be honest. I mean, some of the small ones that have kidneys are on display that like your eyes just draw to it really quickly are taken more straight on as, oh yeah, that's about kidney disease. But I don't know about some of the other ones.
And why did you decide to start to incorporate this kidney dynamic into your art?
Well, there's two sort of reasons. One, it's a really important message because, I mean, it affects so many people, especially in the UK.
Really?
Yeah, and there's so many people that have it and don't know, which I think is really scary because I was very lucky that I was able to have the stuff that needed to be done when I was so young, and now I'm on medication to help prevent it progressing as fast as it does. But there are so many people that are in their mid to late 20s and 30s, you know, drinking alcohol and stuff and not eating the right things, but because they don't know that they have this kidney condition, it's going to put so much strain on their kidneys, because there are a lot of people that have stage 4 kidney disease and they don't know, which then would probably mean they would have to be on like dialysis pretty soon after. And that's quite scary. So if anything, it's more for like an awareness, but also the second thing, it's more of like a personal thing. In this like year or two after doing the street art of making more personal work, I thought it was quite important to have work that kind of covers, I mean, my own journey as like a human being. And because kidney disease has been such a core part of my sort of existence, like that's all I've known. Like I was telling you earlier that I thought everyone had it when I was young. So I kind of just thought it was very important for me to sort of put that into my kind of body of work, if that makes sense.
Sure. Putting your body in your body of work.
Exactly.
So I guess on Instagram, you go by Studio Kidney now?
Yeah,
Is that your new branding?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I like to work in a studio, and most of my work covers kidney disease, so it's like Studio Kidney.
Glad you didn't go with Studio Knife Crime.
Yeah. Kind of sounds like Studio Ghibli as well, which I find quite funny.
Oh, that is kind of funny. You said that a lot of people have kidney disease, especially in the UK. Does the UK have a higher percentage of kidney disease?
I don't know, but I know that there's a lot here that have it. But I assume in America it's probably just as big or more and more.
Awesome. We're going to shift gears a little bit. Tell me about a trip to the United States. Bro, you came to America?
Oh, man.
When? Why?
Yes, and I'm gutted I didn't see you. It was like almost a last-minute trip that my friend at the time was booking, and he asked if I wanted to come. And who wouldn't say yes?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, and honestly, it was the most beautiful place I think I've ever been to.
Where'd you go? San Antonio, Texas?
Man, so I started in New York, and then we went to Canada.
Oh.
And then we went...
Where in Canada? Like Toronto?
Yeah, we went to Toronto. And then, to be honest, that 11 days is a bit of a blur for me.
11 days? That sounds like a lot of days, man.
Oh, yeah. It was only supposed to be 10 days, but he made us miss the flight, so I had to wait an extra day.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a bit of a blur. I think we went down south as well.
In America or in Canada?
Yeah. No, in America, yeah. I saw so much. It was really lovely.
Were you driving?
No.
Were y'all walking?
No, he was driving. I was passenger.
Oh, well, that's what I meant. So you guys were driving Oh, okay. What was the purpose of the trip to America?
I think he had friends over there, so it was more to see them, but I think it was more of just a sightseeing and exploring kind of thing.
So it was a vacation, it wasn't for work or anything like that?
No. And I kind of wanted to go there before, especially New York, because at the time, this was way before I'd created the American flag painting, and I really wanted to make a painting about America. So if anything, it was quite good as a backbone for that. It's like first-hand kind of bit of research.
Sure. So you don't remember where you came besides New York?
Nah, man. Those 11 days were such a blur.
That's hilarious. Well, did you have fun?
I had fun for the most part. Unfortunately, the person I was with made it a bit of a living hell.
The person who invited you?
Yes, unfortunately so. But the people I met in America were very lovely and sweet. And the places I saw were fantastic.
What was the coolest thing you ate?
It's funny you asking me these questions because I think we only stopped at McDonald's. Which wasn't my choice, unfortunately.
Okay, well, how would you say that American McDonald's compares to British McDonald's?
I don't know, probably more salty, I don't know. I tasted the less healthiness.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Not that McDonald's is healthy in the UK, don't get me wrong.
I had McDonald's in Paris, and...
yeah, probably a lot better.
And obviously I've had McDonald's here, and I will say you can taste the difference. And like you said, you can kind of taste the unhealthiness.
I think they just add more calories in.
Yeah, they reach over and they grab that jar that says unhealthy, and they just add a little bit more over here, yeah.
Exactly.
Some of the art that you do is on the more political side.
Sure.
And listeners of the show know that we don't really talk politics. So, without being political, can you tell me why you decided to paint the American flag? There's lots of flags. Why American?
Yeah. Well, I've done a range of flags.
Oh, okay. Of other countries?
Yeah. I'm actually in the middle of making a series of them, but I've made a Palestinian one and I've made the American flag. But they're more to encompass everything that's, well, anything from a conflicts to, as you said, like political side of things.
And why did you decide to do this? Why go from kidneys to politics?
Well, one, I didn't want to be stuck doing one thing. I'm someone that likes to sort of put my pen into lots of different worlds of different things. If that's like making a comment on a conflict or something that's deeply personal, because as much as I feel so much for these flags, they're technically not very personal because I don't live there. nor do I know people that live there. So
You know me.
well, exactly. I was more talking about the Palestinian one.
Oh, okay.
I think more the Palestinian one is more sticking up for the people that live there, whereas the American one is more to kind of show the depraved kind of side that doesn't almost get spoken about as much. And there's lots of little illustrations of bits from its past to things at present that kind of getting brushed under the carpet, as it were.
I have seen some of these photos on Instagram, and I do encourage everybody to go check it out at Studio Kidney on Instagram. So some of these, I guess, statements or ideology references are buried into the flag. So listeners, imagine the American flag, but then there's little scenes that are depicted and images that are sort of almost Easter egg style hidden in the flags. What made you decide to go this way with it, like as far as incorporating the details into the overall design of the flag?
Well, I love the fact, obviously, we can't appreciate seeing it in person, but when you step back from it, all you see is the American flag. But once you sort of get in quite close to it and appreciate all of the different angles, because this is a painting that has so much texture as well. Mm-hmm. You have to kind of be there in person to see all of the different aspects of it. But once you kind of dive in closer, you see all of the writing, all of the different illustrations, and they're very hidden when you step back from it. So it's almost like real life, how a lot of the things politically are being hidden in a way.
Sure. And also all of those things are part of the whole.
Yeah, they all work cohesively. Whereas the Palestinian one, I thought the message and the meaning, it's like there in front of you and you don't need to think too much to get it. So that painting's really flat and it's not got the same sharp angles and texture that the American one has, because I feel like the American painting has such a more complex history and such a more complex understanding, whereas the Palestinian one, you kind of get it and you're like, that's kind of what's going on.
We're complicated, y'all. Where do these paintings reside? Where are they? Like, where is it right this second? Where's the American flag one?
With me, I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, it's there with you. How big is it?
1.2 meter, but...
What? Hold on, let me do the conversion. So 1.2 meters. It's 3 miles wide?
No.
I'm terrible at math.
No, so...
But, fuck is a meter? Is that like 3 feet? 2 feet? What is that? You're like, I don't know.
But no, so with the American one, I've done it so proportion-wise, it's done to the exact sizing that the actual flag should be. Whereas I've noticed there's quite a few American flags that have been made in the past by quite prestigious artists, but they've, to my knowledge, I might be wrong, they haven't done that. I really like to try and go a bit of the extra mile of making everything kind of right.
The extra meter.
Exactly. I don't know, it sounds weird, but I can't sleep at night if I haven't kind of done that right thing. Even with like the canvases, or like I'll try and use certain wood, or like I'll prep the canvas and like varnish it 10 times and then put a coating over the top and make it really smooth, because it's all about the things you kind of don't see in a painting. I was really fortunate to meet a great artist called Horacio Pagani, who's very famous for making these really bespoke supercars.
What's his name?
Horacio Pagani.
Oh, Pagani. Okay, yeah. Have you ever seen one of those cars in person?
I have.
They're incredible.
They are.
Incredible.
He was saying it's all about the little intricate things you don't see, and all of the carbon fiber weave on the cars goes together so incredibly well, which should kind of be impossible. So I'm kind of reminded in that kind of process of making things with art, because I think that should go together.
That attention to detail.
Yeah, it's weirdly about the things you don't see more than the things you do.
What is your plan for this series of flags from other countries?
Well, I might do another American one, to be honest.
Take it easy, man. Focus on somebody else for a while.
And I don't know, I haven't got like a set number of ones I want to make.
I guess I just meant, what is your plan? Like, where are these going to be for a gallery? Like, what is your plan? Where are these going to end up?
Maybe one day. To be honest with you, I'm still quite a small artist. But if I get in contact with like a gallery or someone that owns a space that I can lease or rent or something like that, I'd be happy to display them like publicly. I'd love that.
Hey, Streetwalkers, here's a word from our sponsors.
Warning. Not listening to Fascination Street podcast may cause unexpected side effects. Side effects may include sudden fits of boredom, irrational curiosity about everything you missed, the inability to name your favorite podcast interview, spontaneous ignorance of obscure celebrity stories, talking to coworkers about nothing because you didn't hear the latest episode. Other symptoms may include excessive use of the phrase, "Wait, what happened?" Chronic seriousness with no trace of laughter or delight, unexplainable urge to scroll aimlessly instead of being entertained. In rare cases, not listening may lead to wandering aimlessly through podcast apps, overexposure to true crime reruns, and thinking you're cooler than you actually are. If you find yourself experiencing any of these symptoms, stop what you're doing immediately and download Fascination Street Podcast. Ask your podcaster if Fascination Street Podcast is right for you. Spoiler alert, it is.
Let's get back into it.
I know that since you're a starving artist, you probably have a real job. But do you sell art? Do you sell your stuff? And if so, how do you sell it? Do you display it somewhere? Is it online?
I've sold a number of things, but it's more like occasional. Like I do have a website actually, but like I don't list anything on the website.
Sounds like a great plan.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, man, I get so attached to my work. This is the really bad thing about making art. I'm quite lucky I'm making prints of things. So that's a better way of selling things because then you get to keep the originals. I have a friend called Aaron that wants to do the same thing.
My robots are originals, and I don't care what you say.
Exactly. So you'll be able to sell those for a lot. No.
I'll never sell those. They're too cool.
No, I've sold things more through people messaging me on Instagram before, if that makes sense. So
sure. When are you going to do the UK flag? Was it the Union Jack? Is that what y'all got over there?
Oh, I've been meaning to do the Union Jack for quite a while. I've made the England flag, but it was quite small, and I've been wanting to kind of make a bigger...
So what does the England flag look like? Is that red and white?
It is red and white, yeah.
Okay. What is the difference between the England flag and the Union Jack? The Union Jack is for all of UK? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, it's missing the blue and the red crosses.
Sure.
The thing is, I've got far too many ideas and not enough time because I really wanted to make another series of work, but more about animals and do little illustrations of like nature and that kind of thing.
Where do you get your inspiration for these different series?
Just off the top of my head, to be honest. I like to get inspiration for different techniques to use and different mediums and stuff.
You got to look into those eggshells, man.
Exactly. You know what I'm going to do as soon as we finish this. But I get a great deal of inspiration in the technical side of things. But as far as ideas go for my illustrations or what the painting's going to be about, I like to keep that all very to myself. I'm a firm believer in keeping that kind of thing original.
I think it's hilarious that you get so attached to your art that you just want to keep all of your originals.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you were doing street art and it's all gone, you're just like, it's all gone.
That's very true, actually. It's quite a nice juxtaposition from not keeping anything. But I don't know, they're all very different and they all have like a different story, which is nice. I mean, they all end up with interesting stories because I kept them, but I've done so many more that I've ended up redoing or throwing away.
Really? You throw them away?
Oh, I've got a very, very bad thing of if there's one thing that's not quite right, it will be back to square one again. I don't know. I think like with when we were talking about Horacio Pagani, I think if you're trying to do something perfect, you really need to do it until it's right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I do like that you said, the way I do things is this way, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with the way I do things. I love that.
Well, I don't know, because like some people that even do art would just look at like a painting I've done that I personally don't like or think's good enough, and they might like it, and that's fine. I don't know, you need to put things out that you're like 100% within it.
I want to talk about the blue wall.
The blue wall?
Yeah, the blue wall. You have a post.
Oh, yes.
Are these yours?
Yeah, I've got too many blue paintings.
Are these hung at your house?
They are.
Okay. What is the style of these paintings, would you say? So, ladies and gentlemen, I am looking at one of Henry's posts on his Studio Kidney Instagram. There's this one, it sort of looks anatomical.
That's a really interesting one. I'm glad you pointed that out, actually.
To me, it sort of looks like organs, almost an x-ray of organs.
That was done at uni while I was sort of experimenting with the fiberglass, and I thought another way to sort of mess around with priming a canvas. What if I just primed half of it and it had the rest of the fabric exposed? Because there's a painting from, I can't remember what year it was.
2041.
Exactly. No, it was Keith Haring's last painting he did before he died. And it had the same kind of effect with the paint dripping down. So it's kind of inspired by that, but it's got illustrations about my kidneys. It's all done in ink, actually.
It's all done in ink?
Ink and acrylic.
For those who care, that final unfinished painting by Keith Haring, that was 1989. So these paintings that I'm looking at on your stuff, particularly these blue ones, again, they have these little human figures incorporated into them, almost hidden. Is this the kind of the style that you're going with? Is incorporating these little figures? And some of them are you got sad faces, you got running, you got some of them are torn in half.
Yeah. Exactly. I'd say they're a very core part of my work. And if I didn't have them there, it wouldn't be my work.
That makes sense.
But I kind of want to step away from doing them as these kind of small, intricate things that you can't see them from far away. And I've been experimenting with doing quite big ones.
How big?
Sort of A2 size. I've got sheets of Somerset paper that people use for doing screen prints on. And I've been messing around doing these quite big illustrations in ink and stuff. But yeah, they look cool because they have the same premise as the small ones, but they're kind of taken up a notch. With how the brush kind of interacts with the ink, you get lots of different splats and nice little effects.
I love some of the text, some of the writing that goes along with some of these posts. Specifically, you're talking about your American flag painting, which I believe is titled The American Dream.
Yes.
Quote, "It's a horrifying collection of illustrations that make up the U.S. flag, which document the depraved reality we live in."
It's not talking about the country as a whole or the people, because the country and the people are beautiful.
Sure.
Any of the flags I do, it's more of how it's run and who runs it.
What's your next flag? Who's your next flag? Is it going to be another American one? Or?
I think I might do the UK flag next.
That's the Union Jack, right?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not entirely sure, because I do want to get started on doing a painting more to do with nature and that kind of thing, and doing illustrations of different animals and the environment and stuff.
Are we going to do domestic animals, or are we talking kangaroos and tigers and shit?
Maybe I'll do a painting with kangaroos for you. But but no, I was actually going to do one of the ocean first.
Well, you do love blue.
Exactly, you know me. And I was going to do the different life you get at the different depths. As the painting goes down, it'll go from a very light blue to almost black. I haven't made that yet, but early stage.
I don't know if you saw it, but recently it came across my feed. I don't know how new it is, but there was some underwater photographers.
Mm-hmm.
They had a camera and they dropped the on purpose. They dropped the camera into some deep hole in the ocean, and it just kept filming all the way down until it stopped or whatever.
Oh, no way. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I guess maybe it was a live feed or something. I'm not sure how they were able to capture it, because they didn't get the camera back. They just dropped it into a hole and forgot about it. But they have this footage, and you just see, and it's 850 feet down into a hole or something crazy like that. And you just get to see the video is just, from the camera's perspective as it's going away from the person who dropped it,
Yeah.
It is outstanding. It's very interesting. You should see it. If I can find it, I'll send it to you. But
I'd love that.
Somewhere on the internet. I think I saw it on Instagram. It was wild. Why the fascination with the ocean, besides the fact that it's blue? Calm down.
Well, weirdly, because I'm used to doing paintings with that color, I thought it'd be a nice, easier way to transition doing illustrations with animals if I'm doing it kind of on something I'm kind of used to. Because the original idea was to do a sort of a greeny earth one and use paint to kind of come over the edges of the canvas, and it'd be a very forest kind of looking thing. But because I wasn't quite used to that yet, I'm kind of wanting to do an ocean one just to sort of get the things right.
Got you.
Trial and error.
Did you run across a paint sale and blue was on clearance and you just bought it all, or?
Clearly. No, I'm really addicted to using that colour. It goes in phases because I'm standing behind one that's 6 foot by 4 foot, which is quite massive, but not the biggest painting I've ever seen.
How big is your apartment?
Very small. I've got all my stuff in my room, you see, but it kind of covers a whole wall, and it's pink acrylic with these like sort of red markers, and I've done the little illustrations in black pen over the top. But yeah, I used to do lots of pink ones, so it just goes in stages. I'll do ones just in sort of one colour.
Yeah, whatever's on clearance.
Exactly. I'm very fortunate that I've kind of collected, like with canvases, I've collected a great deal of materials. So if I want to paint something pink or red or whatever, I can just go in a big box and just find a bunch of colour.
Love it.
Yeah, because like a year ago, if you wanted to make a painting, you'd have to like go all the way to the shops and just order or get loads of paint and then come back, and you'd have to keep doing it.
But now you got enough leftovers that you can kind of do whatever you want. That's cool.
Exactly. It's just that bit more freedom, isn't it?
Do you still have your stencils from your street art?
Oh gosh, 1 or 2, but I had a huge clean out when I was like redoing what my practice was and stuff. So kind of no.
Because it's evidence and you don't want to go to jail?
No, I mean, not that, but more just I had no use for them. So therefore, it was just space being taken up for sort of no reason.
That makes sense.
But by that time, I had put art out in the world and then it was painted over. And once it's painted over, you don't really have to worry about it all that much, unless you've done it to such a severe point that they take lots of photos and try and make a
case against you.
Yeah, exactly, which they wouldn't have done with me because I didn't do as much as other people. But
that leads me to ask, did you really step away from street art, or is this just what you're saying so that you don't go to jail? You're out there street arting all over the place.
It shocks me because I would actually really like to, because I did actually quite enjoy it. And I have so much respect for the people that go and do that kind of thing. But yeah, I kind of just stopped. Plus, I don't have the same frame of mind to just go out at 2 o'clock in the morning and just do that. I mean, which I have done and I liked doing it. But I don't know, I just felt there was too much to lose.
Agreed.
But I'm still in contact with a lot of people that do it.
Sure. And I would imagine you're a camera person. Henry, tell everybody where they can find you and more about your art.
Sure. So I have an Instagram, which is just Studio Kidney, which has like a sort of catalogue of all my art. And then my sort of website is studiokidney.com.
Oh, it's studiokidney.com is your website?
Yeah, studiokidney.com.
It's not .uk or anything like that, it's .com?
Yeah, just .com. So it's just what my art's about, a bit about me, that kind of thing. Nothing too crazy.
And this is where, listeners, you can go to check out more in detail, like the American flag, the Palestinian flag, whatever other flags are going to be out by the time this drops. But that's where you can go check out more specific details on his paintings and his work, which is really beautiful. Again, some of it is just too political to talk about on the show, but it is breathtakingly gorgeous. So I do think everybody should go check it out.
Thank you. I think the nice thing is, like with the American one, I mean, there's no way I could look at that and tell you it's not political, because obviously there's so much political things into it, if it's the illustrations or whatever. But the very thing of that painting actually has like another story as well, which I put in my Instagram about going to America, obviously as a holiday. And then while I'm there, the person that I thought was my friend spent those like 11 days trying to belittle me and being really abusive to me. And it was really hard for me to cope with that. And I felt really awful. And he made me feel very inhuman. So when I came back, I needed a way to express that. So in a way, this painting is that. And it's the embodiment of how I kind of felt when I was there, but because of him, not the place itself.
Interesting. And he was not an American?
No.
That's wild. Okay. Jeez. Henry, if somebody wanted to buy some of your art or reach out to you about a commissioned piece, where would the best place to contact you be?
just send me a DM and I'm sure I'll get back to you.
Oh, rad. Well, Henry, Studio Kidney Henry, before I let you go, is there anything we didn't talk about or I didn't ask you about this time specifically that you wanted to talk about today?
Not that I'm aware of. I think we've covered everything, but it's been great hanging with you again.
It's always a pleasure, dude. I could listen to you talk forever. I could listen to you read the phone book, as they say.
Likewise. You have a very good voice for this.
I appreciate you saying that. Well, thank you for taking the time out of your busy and your hectic painting, not street art time of your day to hang out and let us get to know even more on Fascination Street, man. I really appreciate it.
Of course, it's a pleasure, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You have a great rest of your day, man.
You too, dude. See ya.
All right. Take it easy, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Opening music is from the song FSP Theme, written, performed, and provided by Ambush Vin. Closing music is from the song Kosh, written, performed, and provided with the blessings of Kosh Mojo himself. If you like the show, tell a friend. Subscribe and rate and review the show wherever you listen to podcasts. All episodes are available ad-free at patreon.com/Fascination Street Podcast. And don't forget to follow the show on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and TikTok. And again, thanks for listening.